Good morning, boys and girls. Having me a coffee break. Took Miss Daisy for breakfast this morning. And then running around, and now I'm here. It's grafting day today. Yesterday we set up that, little double stack 5-framer. And so today I'm back. This is high test too, regular coffee. Normally I'm drinking oh, we got photographers running around here. Bird watchers or something. Everybody's got a camera. I don't know what they're looking at. Let me just pan around here real quick. There's one. There's one behind me. Oh, look at over here, guys. Look what I see. Look what I see over here. FWC. Florida Wildlife Commission. Imagine he's down here heckling kayakers with anybody with a fishing pole. Right? Let's heckle them. Unbelievable, guys. How about going out and catching some freaking drug dealers, okay? Gotta come down here and screw with the poor fishermen. There's hardly any fish out there in the freaking water anymore anyway. It's a flipping joke. It's a flipping joke. And then you got mosquito control just flying this place like crazy, dropping larvicide. Really? Larvicide? Really? Oh, we got bird watchers here, guys. Bird watchers. Just what the doctor ordered. They need to get a real job, these bird watchers. Yeah, FWC, guys, my hunting buddy tells me FWC stands for fags wearing costumes. I told him, I said, don't ever tell that. I said, they're just looking for some reason to throw your ass in a slammer. So don't tell them they're faggots, okay? I have no clue what these people are looking at. This one over here's got binoculars, and she's got a big old camera. I don't know, $1,000 camera. Oh, FWC guy. Oh, it's a woman. Big old fat lady. Yeah, big old fat lady. FWC. Apparently, they don't have any physical fitness requirements. Jeez. I ought to tell FWC, listen, if you want to get these freaking troopers of yours in shape, tell them put a bee suit on and come out here and work with me in the field in this Florida hell heat. I'll melt the butter off of their asses. That's pretty good coffee, guys. Pretty good coffee. Yeah, I've got brought my binos with me today. There's my binos. Yeah, I got my grafting tools here. I got a German tool. I got some Chinese grafting tools. We'll see what works. I haven't grafted in years. My thought process here, okay? If I get a good take on, I'll wait 2 days. We'll try to graft today. I'm sure I can pull this off. Like I told Rick, it's kind of like riding a bicycle, isn't it? And then Vim chimed in. She said, yes, it's like riding a bike. So we got to listen to Vim. And, because she is the grafting expert. The Vim. Rick's Vim. Yeah, we got people crawling all over this park here. It's a little park. This is a little park. I don't even remember the name of it. It's a little park. It just comes down here on the end of this road here. It's got a cul-de-sac on it. It's just a finger coming right halfway down. I got another guy. He's in a stilt home. He said I could put bees on his place. I have not talked to the man yet. I just put a card out yesterday. Or not yesterday, a while back. And he finally called me. Wanted to know what my deal was. And I told him. He said, sounds good. I think I could find you a spot. The only problem, he says, here, everything goes underwater when we get these big storms. I said, no, I'm over the submerged, submarine bees. I'm over that. I don't want to do any more submarine bees. No, let Joe and Hunter do that. I'm over that. I said, I said, we'll keep an eye. You help me out. You keep an eye on the weather. If you see something look like it's hairy coming my way, just let me know. And my ass will be off the waterfront because I can't lose any more bees. This guy's setting up something kind of cool over here. He's got a little old kayak with outriggers on it. Those yellow things. Yeah, a little flip down. Flip down, what do you call it? Buoyancy things. So he don't flip over. He must stand up in that stupid thing. It looks like a canoe he's got. Looks like a half-breed canoe kayak such situation. Huh. Well, FWC left. I guess I got tired of screwing with these poor fishermen. Unbelievable, guys. The money that we're pissing away on this and that. I told these FWC people before, I said, the thing you need to be doing out there is looking for beehive locations for Steve-O. Help an old beekeeper out, you know. Can you imagine what some of these guys are making a year? I can't imagine, guys. Oh, I see a big school of mullet right here, guys. I haven't seen that in eons. Right here. They're coming up kissing the surface. I'm not really sure why they're doing that unless there's some small, shrimp or something on the surface they're sucking in. But, yeah, we got a park ranger here. We had FWC here. And these people just keep pulling in here. Yeah, I just had a few minutes to kill here. And got some grafting tools. I got some grafting tools here. I've purchased many of these Chinese jobbies over the years. And some work, some don't. But I kind of like my German tool. Stainless steel German tool. We'll see if we can't get a graft done. I'm only going to do like 10 cells. That's it. 10 cells. And if we can get 8 out of 10, that's good. But if this doesn't work, say if I get a crap graft, I'm going to come back here in 2 days and check that. When I come back, I will have some double screen boards. And I like the whole concept, but the thing with the double screen boards, most of the double screen boards have a little entry. They have a rim with an entry on it. Well, I'm eliminating that. Steve-O kind of thinks outside of the box. I think differently than a lot of people. Miss Daisy just, when I tell her some of my scenarios, she just rolls her eyes back in her head. Sometimes she said, "Oh, you some bitch, you," and then just walks away, you know. Trying to hurt, you know, I have, some of these women don't realize, guys, that I have feelings, you know. They don't care. They just don't care about my feelings. I haven't had any of them down at the gym, though, give me the middle finger yet. You just tell them they look nice, you know. Tell them, God, whatever, what I do, guys, I don't know how you butter them up down there, but what I do is just tell them, whatever you're doing, honey, keep it up, because you look fantastic. How can they argue with that, guys? How do you argue with that? Wow, she's getting warm, guys. It's getting warm. I'm going to finish up my coffee and go over here and open up a box and see if we can't get this graft knocked out. I'm putting sugar water on them too. I think I'm going to order some, you know, I'm converting over everything to, I've told you, to mediums. And I've got quite a few of the deep internal feeders. And I'm going to convert them. I'm going to set up a table saw. It's a 6 and a quarter high. I'm going to set that thing up, run my blade up high, and shoot that feeder right down through there, plastic feeder with a carbide blade, and blow that bottom off at 6 and a quarter. Now I've made a medium. Feeder, internal feeder. That's going to be one of my little tricks. And granted, you're saying, well, Steve-O, you do that, and you're going to lose the top bar where the frame rest sits. So now your stupid feeder is just going to fall in the hole. No, it's not. I'm going to cut a little piece of 1x2 and slip inside that box. And I'm going to shoot 2 deck screws in, and those deck screw heads will be sitting and laying on top. Then I'll recreate my frame rest with those deck screws. I'll just throw away the top portion of that. Or here's an or. I might can get a piece of plexiglass and hot glue that a bottom on that thing. I might try that. That way I've got 2 feeders in there. These are gallon feeders, by the way, but who cares? Even if you put a half gallon in there, that's a lot of feed. That's a lot. I'm normally just put quart jars on these things. So I may put a piece of Lexan down. That you can cut pretty easy, Lexan, with a carbide blade on a table saw. And I'll already have a flat bottom on there. I can set that dude right on top of a piece of Lexan, and take my hot glue and go around there, put a big old fat bead around there, and then let that harden up, and then test drive it with some water first before you put syrup in it. Now if that works, it will be hunky-dory. All right, I just finished my coffee. I got a portalet right here. Let's go relieve ourselves and then get into a beehive. How's that? God, this is great, guys. I got a bee location with my own personal toilet. Steve-O got it going on or what? Okay, guys, I've selected a little medium frame out of this deep box. I've been incorporating these in, but you can see some real small larvae. That's what I'm shooting for. And they seem to have a good bit of royal jelly in there with it. So that's what Steve-O's going for today. Yeah, I'm going to transfer them to there. Alrighty, guys, got the graft done. You talk about rusty and sucking. I sucked at it, but we may get a few. I got real small larvae, but the problem I had, let me get away from these hives before I get zapped in the face. The issue I had was I couldn't get the Japanese tool to work. Everybody's favorite is the Japanese tool. I couldn't get that slanty-eyed shit to work. So I picked up the German tool, and I could get the trick with a German tool, as I discovered. You got to cantilever that larva, and that's a trick. That's a trick, cantilever. You go just a little bit too much. Now you're way up under it. Now you got nothing cantilevering the way you can set down in the cell and bring it off. And I see a lot of guys, and I know a guy and a grafting lady that prime the cells. Now that's probably a good way to go, because if it is, I could pick them up with a grafting German tool and lower them into a puddle of royal jelly, and they'll float off. They'll float off. I've known that from years ago, but forgot it basically. And I didn't leave these things queenless long enough to let them start making emergency cells to where I could steal some royal jelly to where I could do the priming. Oh well. That's supposedly the beauty of the Japanese tool. You scoop it up. I had a hell of a time with that thing. It was folding up on me, and I just couldn't get it right. You're supposed to warm it up, keep it in your mouth, warm it up, and then it's more flexible. You can slide under the larva. But this comb right here is a brand new comb that I was digging these out of. It's so fragile. That's why you want that's why they always go with the old tough black comb, you know. Aggravating. Started getting aggravated. I got down. I did pretty good. I went through about 7 and 8. Or no, 7 in the last 3. I was struggling, just friggin' struggling. Yep. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. We'll come back in 2 days and see if any of these things developed. If they didn't, I'm gonna bring some stuff next trip to where I can do some splitting with double screens. Yeah, double screen action, baby. All right, I gotta run, guys. See you later. Be happy, be strong. We gotta keep getting it on. See ya. Alrighty, you beekeeper homies. Let's recap here on Steve-O's grafting day. Man, what an abortion that was. Here's your Chinese grafting tool here. Boop, boop, boop. And then it's sticking. The plunger's sticking and this and that. My biggest problem here this morning, guys, was this is brand new comb. It's soft. So you want the darker comb if you're going to get into this. Which most do. Most people do that. But I was having zero luck with that. Zero luck. I was getting some half-ass luck with this. This is the German tool. And you see that little end there? I guess they use that for trying to pick up. I don't know what side you pick up with it, I was having zero luck with that. What I was having luck with is this side, a little spoon. See that little smash spoon? I knew a beekeeper, a commercial guy. What he used was a friggin' paper clip. You know, the big paper clips actually wasn't even that big. And he went to the vise where you got a little anvil there, and he tapped it down with a ball peen, a small tack hammer, and made him a little flat, about like you see there, right? And that's what he used. Was a he used to graft a ton of this stuff, but I wasn't having any luck. But I had flashbacks when I was doing this. If I could get it in the cell and get off the spoon, if it was cantilevering, if that larva was sitting out there cantilevering, I could go in, touch the bottom of the cell, and swipe off. But I've heard some guys, and I know some beekeepers that a lot of guys don't wet graft. And, you know, you prime the cell with some royal jelly. And if I do any more grafting, that's what I will do. I think I'm going to pretty much stick with just my mini frame, my mini nukes and stuff. I just go in a Rob resource. I'll grab 2 frames of just about solid brood with a few eggs, get 2 of those in 1 food frame, put in there. That's my walkaway in a 5. I put them in a 5. I've played with the 2s. I'm still going to play with some 2s, maybe with some cells or some virgins. I'm going to play with those a little bit, but the 5s is my go-to. And yeah, I was like, working with this thing, guys, it reminded me of a cub bear jerking off with boxing gloves on. Yeah, that's what I was like. So this tool would work hunky-dory if I go ahead, say, and make up my cell starter, right? Say about 4 days ahead. 4 days ahead. Let them go ahead and start making peanuts in there. Just about cap peanuts. And then the day of grafting, go in there and rob them friggin' peanuts, and now harvest you some royal jelly. Now I can prime about, you know, scoop out royal jelly, put it in you just put it in a small, you can put it in a cell for that matter. Just put it in a queen cell on a bar, and then you get you a little eyedropper and spoon out royal jelly. Rob those pre-made ones, the bees made, those peanuts, pull the larva out, and then take that royal jelly and mix just a little. You could use this tool right here. Maybe put one drop of distilled water in there and just mix it up, and then dip this little cup in, and then go over to your cell and put it down in there and just tap it right on the bottom. You know, dip a couple dips. You only need 1 drop. 1 drop will do it. And then you can go in and scoop it up. I didn't have problems getting this larva scooped out with this tool, but getting it off of the tool is a trick. I only did 10. So we'll see. We'll go back in 2 days and see what the heck we got in there. But I don't think I'm going to have. Another thing too, I didn't have it flooded with bees. You need them things flooded with bees. I don't have the resources for that right now. But I got resources enough to make walkaways. And I think what I need to do is let these bees blow up a little bit. They're on a major crop coming in. I'll let these things fatten up and use double screen boards. And so you could do that every month. Double screen them, pull off a box of bees, take it to another location, you know, or you can leave it right on site, actually, because the entrances are going different ways. You could leave it right on site. Now, these double screen boards, I think, is a pretty slick trick. The old Bob Benny slick trick deal. Old Bob's pretty slickery. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to attempt grafting anymore unless I get some cells to where I can float float that larva right off the tool. You stick it down in there. I've done it before. You stick it right in and prime cells. That little larva will float right off, sitting on that puddle of royal jelly, just as slick. Yep, just slick, slick. All right, that's it for me. I gotta go cook a steak. My belly's scratching my backbone. See you on the next one, guys. We'll see you in a couple days. We'll go and check these grafts out. See how big a screw up I had. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.